Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here. This is the Bomb Mom Show, so pretty much I talk about anything concerning mom through the journey of motherhood. I want to make sure you ladies and gents are subscribing to my channel as well so you can get all the updates quickly because I have some great things in store for you. So today we're going to talk about weaning versus baby-led weaning because I know that there are a lot of women who are confused. They don't get it. They're not understanding what the difference is. I have my clients, they ask me, how do I wean my baby off of breast milk? And how do I get them to stop feeding all the time when they're 6 months or up in age? So here's what it is. Now, weaning is when you're taking out your feedings. You are going from feeding every 2 to 3 hours if you're a stay-at-home mom, or pumping, going from from 10 pumping sessions to 4 pumping sessions a day. So you're weaning your child off of the milk, but you're replacing it with purees. So that's what weaning is. Weaning is when you use baby jars. You're feeding them baby jars. You're making up the purees for them to eat. You're feeding the baby. Now, baby-led weaning is when you offer them to eat. You don't force them to eat. You don't put a spoon to their mouth and say, here you go. You know how we do. We sit them down and we're trying to feed them and they're like, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So the key to baby weaning is you let them decide on what they want to eat. Specifically, make sure you're giving them the great things first. Please don't start them with banana or something sweet. You don't need to do that because then they're not going to want to eat their greens and things like that. So I always suggest you start with green beans, soft foods that they can hold and they can practice on eating, because of course this is new to them. And I want to make sure you understand the difference between gagging and choking. Gagging is a reflex. They're learning the different textures. So if you hear them gagging, don't freak out too much. It's a little weird, but don't freak out, because if you freak out now, they think they're dying, and I don't want the babies to think that they're dying. Like, oh my God, this thing just tried to kill me. So, gagging is a reflex. Choking, you don't hear. So this is why you need to still sit there. You need to be engaged with your children when they're eating, because you need to make sure they're not choking on their food. Okay, so back to baby weaning. Baby weaning is when you let the baby feed themselves. There's a lot of mess. Just get your high chair. You've been wanting to have more time to do things. Just put the high chair in the kitchen, and look, you can go and clean the kitchen while your baby's eating. You don't need a bowl. You don't need a plate. You don't need any of that. What you do is you give them a few pieces at a time. You can give them eggs, hummus, avocados, little things like that. Just let them explore. Give them the food. Just put it on there. Just put it on there on the high chair and let them go at it. Things that I suggest you get. Just get a huge, large bib. You don't even need clothes for what? They're about to make a mess. This is what it is when it comes to baby-led weaning. They're going to make a mess. It's okay though, because they're having a great time. They're learning about what they're eating, and now you can actually enjoy eating with them. It's a great time for socializing, and they see you eating the same thing, and that would help you with, weight loss. If you feel like you're a little overweight or anything, guess what? You can eat healthy with your baby. Teach them healthy habits. Okay, so I want to make sure you take the time to relax. Enjoy it. Let them feed themselves. The next thing I'm going to talk about is pretty much you don't have to do anything when it comes to baby-led weaning. So I want to make sure you understand the difference between the two. So baby-led weaning is when you let the baby wean themselves. So you offer them food. You have it's time for lunch, it's time for breakfast. Guess what you do? You put them in a high chair. Put them in a high chair, and you go ahead and you put a couple of pieces of food on there. You can have their little cup with their milk. If you're transitioning from breast milk, my kids still drink breast milk. She's sick, so she does, we're not into the cow's milk too much, but we try it. But definitely have them to feed themselves. So that way you're not overfeeding them, because you know when you're feeding a child purees or baby food, you're thinking you have to finish that jar. You don't have to finish the jar. Maybe they're not that hungry at that moment, you know? So that's another thing. When it comes to weaning, you're feeding them, you're just going to feed them. There's no mess. They're not enjoying their food time. Like, who doesn't want to enjoy what they're eating? You understand? So I want to make sure they're little humans. They're little humans. So you let them enjoy what they love. Okay? And make sure you're not stuffing them because you want them to go to sleep. That's creating unhealthy habits when it comes to fulfillment for food. This is why there's a lot of people out there who are not hungry, but yet they eat. Instead, offer them their cup with their milk, or whichever way you feed them, or teaching them how to drink out of a sippy cup. Make sure you have that nearby, because sometimes they thirsty in between. You see when they spitting it out, they don't want that. They thirsty. Give them something to drink. So I want to make sure you understand what baby-led weaning is. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always here for you. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. I need you ladies and gents to subscribe to the channel. And you can check me out at beautyofmotherhood.org. I'm a nonprofit here. And I want to thank you for tuning in.